Yo, what up, friends?
All right, let's go to a little NCAA football.
Yeah.
Canteen's favorite sport. I think this is his favorite sport. He likes NFL, but I think he's more of a college guy.
I think he's more of a college guy. I agree with that. I think
I think he's more of a college guy. So let's let Canteen go first. So top 25, a lot of games played. We can talk about any game you want, Canteen, but one of your topics that you brought up is Colorado for real now. They're finally in the top 25. Your thoughts on Colorado, and then anything else you want to bring up.
So, Flo, I'll caveat. I got to give Jake his props, man. Jake don't usually get a lot of stuff right, but I have to give Jake his due, man.
A dead clock is right twice a day.
Nah, man. When Jake
Flo's been getting a lot of things wrong.
When Jake forecasted Colorado and what they were gonna do, man. I mean, Colorado has done it. They're doing it, and they're making it do what it do. I mean, Shedeur Sanders is slinging that ball. They're running the ball. The defense looks good. Offense looks good. But on top of that, Travis Hunter is making phenomenal plays. I think he should be in the Heisman talk. If he's not in the Heisman talk, or if he doesn't even win the Heisman, there's a problem. The only competition
win the Heisman?
No.
I don't know if he has to win it. There's a problem.
The only competition I see for Shedeur Sanders with the Heisman is that kid from Miami, Cam Ward.
What about the guy on his own team? What about Hunter, the guy on his own team?
Who you said? No, I said
Hunter, man.
No, I said Hunter. I said Hunter for the Heisman.
No, he's talking about Hunter.
Oh, Hunter. You're talking about not Shedeur. You said Shedeur.
No. Okay. I said Shedeur is playing phenomenal on the offense. The defense looks decent.
I thought you said he should be in the Heisman.
But what I'm saying at this point in the season, the only competition for the Heisman is Cam Ward. I think right now, Flo.
Okay.
Colorado should win out for the rest of the season. They should not lose another game.
Really?
Texas Tech, Utah.
They'll destroy Tech. Tech is trash.
And Oklahoma State.
Tech is not trash.
First of all,
if Colorado keeps it up, they may have some playoff contention at this point. They look good.
Well, I think if they got to get past Texas Tech and Utah. Once they get past them, I think the next two might be a little easy.
Just say Utah.
Texas Tech and Utah. No, Texas Tech is solid.
Oh, stop! Didn't they lose to TCU this past weekend?
So
they're not good.
What are you talking about? They are good. They lost their starting quarterback. Are you kidding me?
Good.
They were playing with a freshman.
Yeah,
quarterback, true freshman. They had to send a true freshman. So don't tell me they're not good, Jake. You're just a Texas Tech hater. Okay?
I'm not a Texas Tech hater. I'm a realist.
Colorado lost to Nebraska. Nebraska's not that good. They're not great. They lost to Kansas State.
What do you mean?
And you thought they're gonna beat Kansas State.
Hold on, they lost to Nebraska. Nebraska literally went toe to toe with Ohio State this past weekend.
And Ohio State is overrated.
Oh man! All I know is Colorado is way better than Tech.
I call that as an upset.
Be a game to watch.
So here's the thing at this point, man. I mean, Georgia. Let me hit my team real quick. Georgia had a bye. Man, Georgia gonna kill Florida this week.
Big hater, man. They should kick you out of Lubbock.
I mean, Georgia had a bye. We're gonna kill Florida. The only thing I'm really worried about with Georgia right now
pick you up and throw you to the next town.
The only tough matchup that Georgia got coming up soon. Georgia got to go up against Ole Miss. And I'm not gonna say Ole Miss is a pushover because they're not. They're not a pushover at all. But that's really the only team I'm worried about at this point.
Okay, your thoughts on Colorado, Professor?
First of all, let me set the record straight here on this program and make sure that our fans are not misinformed or ill-informed. I do agree with Canteen that Travis Hunter is in the Heisman race along with Cam Ward. But neither are even the favorites in the Heisman race right now. The favorite in the Heisman race right now is Boise State running back. Ashton Gienti, who has 1,250 yards and get this, 17 touchdowns. So right now he is the leader in the clubhouse for the Heisman, but I would put Hunter at number 2 and Cam Ward at number 3. And to talk about Colorado, I agree with Canteen. Nick was right. You were right, Jake. You were right. I
Damn
did
right.
not see Colorado being this good. They have surpassed the win total that I had for them. They are bowl eligible.
They are bowl eligible.
He is surprising everybody. And honestly, if Prime is not coach of the year,
That's a problem.
better be.
Major problem.
I mean,
Problem.
there's not too many other candidates out there.
He better
Okay,
be.
okay, Professor. Before Jake goes, what about Dylan Gabriel? He's on the number 1 team.
Now, I will give you that.
Wouldn't
Dylan
he be-
Gabriel's up there. Yep, he
Okay.
would be up there. I agree. He can get up there.
Okay.
And there's still time. There's still,
Right.
6 weeks left. So, if
Right.
Oregon were to stay number 1 the rest of the time and Dylan
Right.
Gabriel
Right.
keeps throwing 300-yard games, then, he
Right.
could easily become the Heisman. Sure.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Jake. What do you think?
Yeah,
But
I know
17
you're-
touchdowns, 17 touchdowns in like 8 games. That's like 2 touchdowns a game and like 1,200 yards.
No, that's-
Come on now.
Who are you talking
The
about?
I mean-
Ashton Genty kid. The
You
Boise
know what?
State.
He is,
Buckeyes.
but who are they playing?
Have you
too?
seen his stance, Omar?
Who are they
How he
playing?
just stands there? Like
Uh-uh.
every running back puts their knee on their, like their hands on their knee waiting for the ball. He just stands there
Yeah.
like a boogeyman, just waiting.
That's
You don't know if he's
great.
gonna run or not. It's the scariest
That's
thing you
true.
can see, man. Shout out Boise State.
Yeah.
Colorado. This will be a varsity if Deion don't get coach of the year with what he's done. 2 years ago, this team had 1 win. 1 win. That's it. Shout out Warren Sapp, their defensive lineman coach. He stepped this team up dramatically. Their D-line is completely different now. They
Defense
have
is much
practically
better.
the same
Yep.
players, but yet they
Yeah.
play so much better. Colorado deserves it like no other. I believe they will be in the college
Well, we're not
football
going to go that far. They brought in
Yes,
a
they will.
lot of transfers. They brought in
They
a lot
did.
of transfers, so it's not the
They
same
did.
team. But
Warren
you're right,
did
the defense
crazy
is much
things, bro.
improved. Yes.
Yep. I agree. I think especially I think more so in the college ranks, coaching plays a big role in how well the team does, and if he's got a good staff around him. A lot of guys jumped in with Deion. A lot of NFL players have jumped in and to help him and assist him in different places.
Warren Sapp.
Warren Sapp, like you said. So, I mean, coaching does have a lot to do with it. If you have the talent, everybody has talent. All the top teams, the top 15, 10 teams have a lot of talent, and coaching does play a real big role, in the success of those teams. All right, Canteen, any other thing you want to talk about college-wise?
Nah, man. So, I
ranking?
mean, when we look at the top 15 teams, the top 15 teams right now currently deserve to be there, man.
Okay.
I mean, they deserve to be there. I mean, like I said, Oregon, Georgia. I think a few teams will get humbled. Your Penn State will get humbled. Ohio State and all those teams will get humbled. But
what about A&M? Remember I told you if A&M could
Mike
beat
Elko.
LSU?
Mike Elko's done a phenomenal job with A&M.
Could he win could the A&M win the SEC at this point?
And
I mean, they're in the race.
they ended up beating, was it LSU this past weekend?
Yeah, they beat LSU. You said
They
if
beat
they
LSU
beat
this
LSU,
weekend,
you
so-
take them serious.
You gotta take them serious. Now, I think right now for the SEC championship, right now, probably be Georgia and Texas A&M right now. Georgia and A&M
I mean, that's who it is right now.
right now. Yeah, I mean,
Right now, that's who it is.
Yeah. Oh man, Flo, you put me on the spot with that one, man. Ooh,
Yeah.
they look good.
What do you think?
A&M looks good.
What do you think? What do you think about A&M, Professor?
They
They
look
make
good.
a run at the SEC.
I mean, yeah, they've surpassed everybody's expectations. They're 7-1, like you mentioned. Mike Elko comes over from Duke. You don't know if he's going to be able to take over for Jimbo and do a better
Right.
job than Jimbo did, which was not a good job at all. As we remember, they had to buy out that huge contract of his
All that
just
money.
to get out the door.
Right.
So yeah, Texas A&M
Right.
is playing above what most people thought that they were. They are now ranked at number 10. So yeah, I see them as a threat for sure.
Now, Jake, let me ask you this, Jake. I want to hit Jake with this question real quick.
So Jake,
Let me hit Jake with this, Flo.
about
So,
what?
Jake, Colorado broke the top 25. What happens now, Jake?
Yeah, they're in
They
23
keep
now.
climbing. They keep climbing.
Okay.
They keep climbing.
Now, Professor,
Thank
you
you.
and Jake, I was gonna say, speaking of A&M, they play Texas at the end of the year. That could be for that number 2 spot or number 1 spot in the SEC to go to the championship.
Okay.
They play at the end of the season. If they both continue on this trajectory, that
Right.
A&M and Longhorn game at the end of the season could be to go to the SEC championship.
Yep.
Right, Jake?
Yeah,
What do you think?
absolutely. But at the same time, I'm not worried about A&M yet. They lost to Notre Dame.
Wow.
I don't. Notre Dame's not that great, in my opinion. So
Who
They
did Texas
lost
lose?
Notre Dame. I don't know how anybody's not watching how Notre Dame played them. Stop their passing, make them run the ball, see what they can do.
They also beat 2 other ranked teams, though, Jake. Missouri and
Well,
LSU.
they got Texas now. The D-line for Texas is totally different. If you stop their passing and they have to run the ball, they did good against LSU, who has no defense. And I've said that before. Brian Kelly's practically building with scraps around there over there. Texas should beat them. Don't worry. Texas not should, will beat them.
Okay, unless they lose a game between now and then, right?
Who?
Texas.
They're
When
winning
they lose
already,
to
bro.
Kentucky. Kentucky's risky.
They're good.
Kentucky's risky.
Well, hey, Vanderbilt was too. They beat them.
Okay.
The fact that y'all
They
even
only
let
lost.
Vanderbilt play that close is not a
Exactly.
good sign.
It's not a good sign.
Well,
Not a
hey,
good
that goes back to that quarterback I've been talking about. I don't know when he's going to finally listen to Jake and say, hey, let's put in Arch. My gosh, he's not listening.
He's not putting him in unless there's another injury, Jake.
What,
And that's
another
just how
Yeah,
it
he's-
is.
two
he's
interceptions
definitely not
straight.
going
Shout
in.
out Quinn Ewers,
He's-
another 2 interceptions. We're going to keep blaming the O-line? Freaking idiot, man. Stop doing it. Put in Arch. I've been
All
saying
right. Okay. All right, guys. Any big games coming up that you want to highlight from the NCAA before we move on to NFL?
There's only one true game to talk about. The biggest
This
game of the
upcoming
weekend.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying. I know there's
Ohio
a big
State
game.
versus Penn State.
That's the only
Ohio
one.
State,
That's
Penn
it.
State.
That's
That's
the
the
big
only
game.
game.
Ohio State versus
That is the
Penn
only
State.
game that
Okay.
matters this
What do you
week.
got, Ken?
4
What do you got
versus
there?
3.
I like James Franklin. I like his coaching style. I like what they bring to the table. They're 7-0, and it's going to be at Penn State. Let me give my projection. I'm going to go 30-24. Penn State wins, upsets Ryan Day and company on the road.
Wow.
Ohio State's the road team. My bad. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think, Professor?
Yeah,
I like
Penn
that
State's
a lot.
at home. Like Canteen said, James Franklin has them playing finally really consistent good ball. Every year he usually has those boneheaded losses that they take at Penn State,
Right.
but they haven't done that this year. And Ohio State, while I still have them favored as one of my 4 playoff teams, I think they do lose this game. But remember, it doesn't matter. You can have 2 losses in the new playoff era.
Right.
But I think at home in Penn State, what time is this game, by the way? It's 11 a.m. game.
New kickoff.
11 a.m. game, yeah.
Noon kickoff. So at Penn State, yeah, I'll take Penn State here in a close one, a field goal game. I'll say 27-24 Penn State.
Okay.
I'll
What
go
do you
Ryan
think,
Day
Coach?
wins it. I think Ryan Day upsets it. I think they'll actually win this game. I'm gonna say same score Omar says. It's just flipped. 27-24. Ohio State wins that game.
Now, Flo, I got one more game, Flo. I know this game may be insignificant at this point.
Okay.
South Carolina's played pretty decent ball. They're 4-3. They've lost the games they've lost. The games that they have lost have been close games, but they're going to play the 10-seeded A&M game. I think this game will be really, really close too. I think this game will be close. Yeah, I'll go 34-20. Not close, but 34-20. I'll go A&M beats them 34-20 by 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
I think it'll be a decent game though.
Okay. All right. I like Ohio State too. I'm going to go talking about the last game. I'm going to go Ohio State. I think they upset them. I think Penn State has looked
You like Ohio
been kind
State
of
on
up
the
and down,
road?
even though they're undefeated. They haven't looked
On the
great in
road?
certain games. I'm just saying they haven't looked good in certain games. I just think Ohio State's a better team than Penn State. I think Penn State's been living on a prayer, so to speak. And so I think this is the day they lose in a slight upset. That's what I think. What about everybody was talking about? Remember Indiana? Where do we see them? Just is it Ohio State the only game they're going to lose, and they lose one game? Is that what we think about Indiana? Remember Indiana? They're still undefeated.
Indiana's undefeated. They got they probably they're gonna smoke Michigan State this weekend.
Okay, they're going to smoke them.
I think they're gonna smoke them.
So is Ohio State the only loss we see for them? Is that what everybody thinks?
Probably.
That's it.
Because if that's true, they're going to play in the Big Ten championship, right? If they only lose to Ohio State, assuming Ohio State loses to
It all
State.
depends
Penn State.
on how you lose also, though. They
Okay.
get blown out.
Really?
I don't want to see them around that dang college football playoffs, especially if they get blown out twice.
Well, I mean,
not only would they lose in the Big 12 again, they would lose to Ohio State. If they play again in the Big 12, Big 10 championship, and then get their butts whooped again like that. Oh no!
right.
Keep them out. Keep them out. I want teams that can win, that can fight.
Well, I mean,
I want
essentially at this point, as if they only lose to Ohio State, isn't Indiana in the playoffs?
And who would they play in the Big 10 championship?
Oregon.
And probably get their butts whooped then too. That'd be embarrassing.
I'm just saying. Okay.
These guys are bad.
What's your take on Indiana? Are they for real, Professor?
They were. I'm not sure still if they are, because as we mentioned last week, their starting quarterback got hurt. Now they did win the game without him.
He got hurt.
But,
wow.
But who knows if they can continue to win without him? Winning one game without your starter is a lot different than winning in the playoffs.
That's true. Good point.
Yep.
Good point, Professor.